Hey there everyone, welcome back to Making Motor Moves. For those of you that have just tuned in for the first time, thank you for joining. If you haven't done so already, go down there, give us a like, subscribe, let us know how we're doing. My name is Ben, and today I'm gonna be giving you a walkthrough of my 1979 Ford Bronco Ranger XLT. For those of you that have been following along, a few things have changed. First off, I moved. Yeah, I am in a completely different state now. Made some big life decisions. I made the move out to Maryland a couple months ago, and I know it can be as a shocker to a lot of you that have followed along, all the boat content that we've pushed out. I made a big life decision, and I left John Deere. So here I am for now to pursue my passion in boating, and actually moved out to the Chesapeake Bay to start to work on large yachts and get involved in the marine industry. Phil and George are still back in Iowa, still working for John Deere. They will still be involved in this channel as we move forward, but just a little more disconnected. So bear with us, we're gonna keep pushing content out to you guys, and we really appreciate you tuning in, following along, and sticking with us, because we're nearing the 1,000 mark. We're nearing that point where the channel can really move to the next step, and I really hope we're doing well for you guys. So go down there, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we really appreciate it. As you can see, Making Motor Moves, tow rig, the good old White Lightning Cummins made it out here with us, was a champion, towed the entire 1,080 miles out here with no problems at all. She's doing great. I need to do a little maintenance to it. I changed the oil and fuel filters a while back, but I think she needs some new tires, and if you guys can see here, the infamous Dodge fender well rust is starting. So I need to cut out the inner side of these fender wells, grind them all down, clean it up, spray it, fluid film the whole bottom of the truck, and then I think I'm gonna put some fender flares on it too, kind of cover up some of that bad stuff that's forming. This bumper could use a buff up. But anyway, that guy made it out here with me. Of course, the 1979 Ford Bronco Ranger XLT, which we will get to here in a second, made it out here, and also was a champ. No, I didn't drive that truck. That truck made it here on our trailer that didn't have any problems on the whole trip. Our beautiful custom welded aluminum flatbed trailer did great. Had all my furniture on it. Brought the Bronco out, helped me get out here, so not too bad. All right, so as far as the Bronco goes, again, it's a 1979 Ford Bronco. The way you know is these Broncos were only made for 2 years, 1978 and 1979, is the square headlights. With the square headlights is how you can tell the difference. A 77, round headlights, 78, 79, square, and then they went into the 80s and went to the Bronco Sport. So here we have a full-size Bronco. This Bronco has the same wheelbase and size as a Ford truck from the late 70s. So your Ford F-Series trucks from back then. Here you have your badging designation. So these came in 2 different styles. I think the Ranger was one, and then XLT was the added package. So this one is the XLT. It's got the neat brow on the top of the windshield. But in this truck here, came original from the factory with a Ford 400. That's a 6.6 liter V8. Was not very impressive coming from the factory. This engine, I believe, from the factory made 140 horsepower to the flywheel. And I mean, if we do the deductions, that's not a whole lot to the rear end. But when my cousin got this, he said the engine had been rebuilt by the guy he bought it from out in Colorado. So yeah, he got it all the way out in Colorado, brought it back to Missouri. I brought it from Missouri to Iowa, and now it's made its way from Iowa all the way over to Maryland here. This truck has traveled quite some distance in its lifetime, but anyway, the guy that had it in Colorado rebuilt this engine about 15 years ago, and you can tell it's rebuilt because it doesn't have some of the original parts that are on it that you would think the original 400s came with. So it's got an upgraded Weiand intake, a carburetor spacer with an Edelbrock 600 CFM carburetor on it. Kind of a hodgepodge of stuff thrown around here. Weird mounting for the power steering bracket here. There's some weird spacer with the bolt. I did not do that. It's got some aftermarket Edelbrock valve covers on it. It's got the aftermarket Edelbrock intake on it. Just kind of a hodgepodge. But when I drive this thing, you can actually tell that it has been refreshed and hopped up a little bit. Better cam, a little better timing. I just replaced the whole ignition system on it. So coil, spark plug wires, spark plugs, updated the alternator, had to redo some alternator wiring, replace the regulator back there. To finally get this thing charging, so it is charging and it's running a heck of a lot better. I even threw in brand new radiator, no longer have a leak in mine. Brand new radiator off of Rock Auto. I bought all these parts off of Rock Auto so far, and it's really helped this truck to run better. If you watched some of the last videos, my coolant overflow reservoir has been updated a little bit, but nothing too fancy. When I ordered a new air cleaner off of Rock Auto, I ordered it for a 1979 Ford Bronco with a 6.6. Well, I guess the original air cleaner was a little different size than the aftermarket Edelbrock, so that's what we're stuck with for now. It was only $1, so I'm not gonna complain. This truck is in desperate need of some new tires. These old Coopers 31s 10.5s by 15 are very dry rotted, and yeah, the backs essentially have no tread left at all. So I'm looking to upgrade those and go a little bit bigger. I'm thinking maybe some 33 by 12.5s on it, as long as they don't rub, but we'll see. Might do some BF Goodrich all-terrains. The wheels on this truck are aftermarket. They did not come original with the truck. Somebody did it at some point. The tailgate as well is aftermarket. My cousin bought this tailgate. I have yet to paint it, but he had to do that because the window here, this is actually an electric sliding glass window that goes up and down, was broken. So he had to replace the window. Found this in Joplin, Missouri, and apparently it's really hard to come by. So when I work that window up and down, I have to be really careful not to break it. You can even see on these tires here, they're pretty beat up and rubbed. Wouldn't be too much for me to invest a little money and get some new tires on this thing to make it look better. As we move around the truck, you'll see I'm missing a mirror. I think I might have done this when I first trailered it home when I bought the truck. So I gotta find one of these. I haven't done a whole lot of research onto one because I'm still kind of in the process of getting this thing running and driving consistently. Yes, it does run and drive. I'll show you the underside, but the drivetrain in this truck is mint. I mean, it's in great shape. My cousins even went as far as to replace the full fuel system, so it has a brand new fuel tank, fuel line. So we look at the inside of this truck. When I got it, all the panels were off on the door. I had to reinstall the sliding glass window rollers and then do a little bit of wiring work. So you know that back rear glass I was mentioning that slides up and down? Well, for the longest time I had 2 wires on a switch that I would actually touch to a battery and make it go up or down. Real sketchy, but practical enough for us. What I have for now is just a switch wired into the wires with power from the truck. I need to finish that guy up, no worries though. When I got the truck, there was no carpet in it. It was really nice is my cousin actually had a carpet that came with this that he bought and never had the chance to put in it because the floor of this truck hadn't been sealed yet. I went ahead, I sealed the entire floor with some great silicone, and finally fit up the carpet to go inside this bad boy. So it's got a blue carpet that matches the outside of the truck. Original carpet was brown, as you can see back there in the corner, and then brown seats. Another little thing I'm doing is I got 2 old Ford van seats for free off of somebody in Iowa. Just picked them up in their front yard. Whether or not I should have done that, you can tell me, but thought these were pretty sweet. The truck didn't come with 2 seats, so I found a pair that matched that I'm gonna install. I gotta bolt them to the floor somehow and make some sort of brackets that bolt in, but for now, they can sit here until I find some time to do that. Another big thing too, I'll show you, is my cousin had new floorboards in the front welded in. So these floorboards here are brand new, welded into the old metal. Oh, looks like I got some water in here too. Let me get rid of this hardware that's holding the dash together. Move this out. It's got some rust. You know, like I said, it came from Colorado, so this truck was not in the perfect shape. It's got some good door panel rust here. I guess you can call this cab corner rust. And then the fender wells as well. The fender wells are a little rough, so maybe something down the road that I can chip out, weld in new, and fix up. But for now, we're gonna leave the look. It doesn't look that bad. I don't know. I kind of like the whole patina aspect of the truck. This side's got it too. It's bubbling and rusting up. Well, that door's locked for now, but that cab corner kind of looks like the other one. My cousin went ahead and had a dual exhaust system welded and installed on the truck. So let me get down here and show you. So there's one, there's the other. It actually comes off of dual long tube headers off this 400, so the thing sounds pretty good. And then we got our solid front axle. Moving backwards, we got this big beefy transfer case that runs to the back, goes forward. We got our front drive shaft. Let's see, right through there, if you can see it. That runs up to the front. Right now, let me see if I can get you a view here. Right now it's just free spinning, everything's disconnected. The front locking hubs are unlocked on the truck right now. When we move to the back here, we got our nice drop down rear drive shaft. That's in really good shape. The yokes are in good shape. I've greased everything, U-joints are nice. New shocks in the back. And then the Ford 9-inch rear end that is in great shape. However, something interesting is I've noticed when owning this truck so far that it makes a lot of noise when I'm turning, and it sounds like it's fighting itself. And then finally I realized it one day when I actually did a burnout in a previous video. If you go look here, I'll show it.
Hey, you seen that video of that guy with the diesel truck that's pulling the semi trailer around in the woods, running over trees and stuff?
Yeah, I heard.
That's what you ought to do with this. Just drag it through all the trees and see how far you can go.
Go straight through the yard.
Just try straight to the fence.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Making Motor Moves. Today, we are finally gonna start tearing back into the old Ford Bronco. Woo!
Was not expecting that.
When I did that burnout, I looked back and I was like, wait a second. Is this a 2-legger truck? I figured out that somebody at some point must have tied together the rear end on this Bronco, because it has a locked rear differential. So that means both the tires, whenever you're driving, are being driven at the same time, which is great, except for when you're trying to turn. Another cool thing, as you guys may know for these trucks, is they have a detachable fiberglass topper that goes on top of them. So this whole thing unbolts from inside, lifts off, probably weighs a couple 100 pounds, you know, and you need a buddy to lift it off with you. But then this truck turns into essentially more looks like a truck. So from here all the way back, you've got a truck bed that with a seat that is open to the air. It's pretty cool when you're riding, and it looks pretty sweet. I love the look of these things when the topper's off. But so I will say, for the record, this is my first Ford that I've ever owned. I don't have a whole lot of experience with Ford engines and Ford trucks, but let's go ahead and hop in this thing, fire it up, and we'll go for a quick spin and test ride and show you what it's all about. please ignore the fact that my my driver's seat is not bolted to the floor. I've done some modifications and still need to do that, so bear with me. Well, that was uneventful. Sounds like I left the lights on or something on, so looks like the truck's dead. Let me get it hooked up to the Cummins real quick, put the battery charger on it, and yeah, see if we can't jump it. Okay, we're all hooked up. Also, I got an alternator here. I thought the alternator was bad on it because it was having some charging issues for the longest time, but turned out that what it was some bad wiring and a bad voltage regulator. So I went ahead and bought a new alternator. Turns out I don't need it. I'm gonna go return that today. On my trip, when I took this thing out, all I had to do was replace some wiring to it, replace the voltage regulator. It's a lot happier now. Let me let this thing charge. I'm gonna go grab my voltage meter, check where we're at for this guy, because this truck doesn't have a voltage meter, and make sure we're good to go. Give it a few minutes. Cummins is plenty happy to wake up and put in some work right away. I love this truck. It's been so good to me. You can see it's got 171,000 miles on it. Oh yeah, she's charging strong. 14 volts. It means she's pulling some good power from Bronco. But anyway, I'm gonna run inside quick, grab that voltage regulator, and then we'll hopefully get back to it. Tool bucket, highly recommend. I love that little tool organizer to organize all your simple tools. Nothing special, but when you got to carry it around, it helps. Now we're gonna go check voltage. All right, key. Fasten seat belts. Thank you. Let's give this a go. Bang, bang. Good morning. Woo-hoo. Oh, man. Just purring. Bet you it didn't sound like that back in 1979. Look at that. All right. 14 volts chirping away. Good job, Cummins. You always, well, you've let me down in the past, but we won't talk about that. Yeah, look at this. She is happy. You know, when I redid the ignition system, I found that a few of these spark plugs were loose, and some of the wires were just completely disconnected from their plugs. So I don't know how it ran before, but safe to say she's a lot happier now. But let me get these jumper cables disconnected. We'll go take you for a spin. man, just pure freedom. Woo! All right, let's get going with this bad boy. Oh yeah, look at this. I even got cup holders down here. Put my wallet and phone there. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing all done up. Stereo system, the whole 9 yards. Let's get some airflow in here. That's one thing this thing is lacking is some good proper airflow. But here, what's nice, the fuel gauge works. Probably should get some gas. Oil pressure is great. You can tell this engine's been rebuilt. It's got great oil pressure. Cooling gauge also works, so that's nice. That one, not so much. It's charging at 14 volts right now. Oh, and I just remembered, I totally left the voltmeter under the hood. Hopefully I didn't crush it. Let me take you away. There you go. Okay, now we can go for a ride. Quick run through. We got ourselves a 3-speed automatic transmission. So we got drive, 2 and 1. These things only came with the 3-speed transmission with the 400 cubic inch engine. Don't ask me why the 4 speeds were more sought after with the 5.8s, the 351 Windsors in them. But you know, as far as convenience goes, the 3-speed's not that bad. Then we got our transfer case up here. So 4 low, neutral, 2 high, and 4 high. To go into 4-wheel drive, I gotta lock the hubs. We're not gonna do that because we're just gonna be driving around the street today. But this thing, you'll notice too, did not come with a tachometer. That's because in 3rd gear at like 60 miles an hour, you're already screaming at 3,000 RPMs. So this thing will live at 3,000 RPMs, at least the original motor. This one, a little more hopped up, but here we go. Let's get out of here. And we're already in 3rd gear. That quick. It goes that quick. How's that? Nicely at 40. Yeah, by the way, some guy named Dave, this was his Bronco at some point. So Dave, if you did all the work to this thing, thank you. And I just want to let you know that she's not gonna die anytime soon. This thing's gonna live on for quite some time. Right now, we're looking for a AutoZone. I don't know how close one is to where I live. I live all the way out on a peninsula over here by the Chesapeake. So stuff is not as readily available or as close as you might think. Does vent work? Does vent work? I don't know if vent works. I don't think the whole fan cooling system works on this thing. For the AC. That's a whole other rabbit hole I gotta jump down, is figuring out the AC and heat on this thing, but all in due time. All in due time. We're gonna romp on it here. We're going about 40 right now. Let's ready, 3, 2, 1. Oh baby. He's got some pick me up. Rear hubs and the brakes all the way around were all redone. So I do have decent brakes, which is nice. On some of these older vehicles, you worry about that. On this guy though, we got the decent brakes. Hey, and like I said earlier, if you guys are new to this channel and are just tuning in, or have been watching the channel and haven't subscribed yet, like only half of you guys that watch are actually subscribed, so maybe go down there. Uh-oh. Woo! Oh man. Something just happened. Just had a backfire. Why are we backfiring? I'm pulling over. This is not good. I don't know. Oh God. What happened? What's going on? No leaks. Oh, let's try and turn it over and see what happens. Oh. Really? Uh-oh. What's going on? Seems like we're low on power. I love being on the side of the road in a state where I really don't know a lot of people right now. All right, come on. We got 12.7 volts. What's keeping us from going? Not hot, not hot. Alternator's fine. Let's see. Check back in a second. Dude. Well, I might be screwed. I might have a battery problem. Let me see what I can do here. All right, so I just got off the phone with my new buddy, Connor. This is where I'm missing Phil and George. He's gonna come, give me a jump real quick in the truck here, and I'm gonna turn around and go back to the house. And I guess I'll run the rest of my errands in a different truck today. But, you know, kind of a bummer. These are the things you deal with when you're testing and tuning a new vehicle, but it is what it is. It's too bad. Mr. Bronco, we'll get you reliable at some point here. We're back. She's running for now. I'm gonna have my buddy Connor follow me, see if we can't make it home. But I think we need a new battery. Okay, update. I made it back. I've been letting this guy idle for a little while back out in front of my house. I think the issue might have been, and I'll show you here. Here we go. Either this connector on my coil came loose. It's like a slide snap-on connector, yeah. I think that might have came loose. See that? Oh, yep. I just killed it. That's definitely the problem. So I just ordered a new one of those while I was sitting on the side of the road. I'm also gonna go ahead and replace my battery. This battery is pretty old and I don't think it's holding a charge like it should, but there it is. That's my 1979 Ford Bronco Ranger XLT. A lot more to come on this guy. I'm sorry this is the first time I'm doing a full walkthrough of the vehicle, but you guys have seen it now. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you like what I'm doing, like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Thanks. Well, it is.
Let go of the handle. See how the handle.
No, it's not. I don't trust it.
April 9th, 2021.
Just get until it's balanced.
Phil, George,
Yeah, the boat.
we're grilling on the back of the boat.
It's hot.
Oh yeah, we got a flame going. This is safe.
It's clean burning.
Got the whole cover on the boat.
Hey, maybe so we don't explode ourselves with the engine running, maybe we can turn it off now.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it shouldn't do that, but.
Yeah, but you.
Water easy. She pumps it out like a sieve.
That's not supposed to be there.
What? The engine likes the cool water.
I know, that's why it's running so cold.